Why does Kyrie have to apologize to the Jewish community? Because he found a movie that he posted years ago about the Jews and the Jewish, the difference. It's in the Bible. You can, if you read, go through the book of Acts, you can see where it clearly talks about Jewish people and the Jews. So let's not act like, there's some confusion here through since the Bible age all the way up to now, that there are two different sets of people that we're talking about. And then when you throw in the Jews that come from the Middle East, now you got three different sets of people. And so this is why you have this big brouhaha that's happening in Israel, because these people think that they are the Jews of the Bible. So this is why Obama sent $40 billion over to them. This is why we have all of these wars. It's why we have, this horrible music that's constantly played in the black community. Even the Jewish people who own record companies, one of them even came out and said that in 1990. He said he didn't like the music that was played because it was positive music for, black culture. And he said he wanted to change that. Then you had NWA and all this hatred that's being spewed. Let's not act like we didn't see in 2020 where the Jewish people with the black hats and whatnot all came out because of a funeral in New York and walked down the street with no mask on, and black people sitting on the block were arrested for doing the same thing. And to make it so bad, on that very day, there were tons of police everywhere. Everywhere. And not one policeman said one thing to one of those Jewish guys. Let's not act like that's not happening. Let's not act like the movies, like the people who control the movies, let's not act like, Fox and all that is not being controlled by the Jewish people. Let's not act like the banks. The banks are controlled by who? The Jewish people. And let's not get into, issue 1111, about JFK. I mean, listen, it is deep, and it goes back a long, long, long way about what the Jewish people are doing and still doing. They're in complete control, and we know this. And when you come out and you speak against them, especially when you're making that kind of money like Kyrie is, they're going to bring the hammer down on you and your family. That's going to be it. They're going to bring the hammer down, and if you don't apologize, you're going to be out of a job, and you can lose your life. We know this. Let's not act like big oil. All of these wars that are being fought. We're constantly at war. Why are we constantly at war? 235 years of war. This is just, happening just because. No, we know who's doing all of these things. We know this. The abortion clinics. Come on. The abortion. Come on, people. This is it. You know what? For the Jewish people, and we're not talking about the Jews out of the Middle East, and we're not talking about all Jews. This is the whole thing. We're not talking about all Jewish people, because there are some Jewish people who are not in control, but they're benefiting from it. They're not getting shot up and arrested and all this. So I live near one of their communities. There is no crime in that community. Let me tell you how bad it is. My buddy, guy I worked with, he had to walk home one day, and he walked all the way from the west side all the way, to the east side of town where I live on. And he had to walk through this Jewish community. It was in the middle of the night. He's got on an all-white uniform because we worked for a car company and we had to wear all white. He's walking. As soon as he gets into that community, a police officer sees him and rides beside him. He didn't say anything to him. He just cruised at 5 miles an hour. all the way until this guy got out of the community, which is probably like maybe 2 miles. He just cruised me. That's how it is in the. No, Kyrie, you are right. The black people, not the Africans. There are difference between the Africans and the Jews that are over here that were sent into slavery on ships. There's a whole difference between them and us. This is most time why you find that, we don't exactly mesh with each other. I ain't got nothing against Africans, but we don't exactly mesh because we're two different cultures. Let's get this right. Kyrie wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. There is evidence of what's been happening. And like I said, I don't got something against all Jewish people. Like, I don't go and look at all Jewish people and go, eh. But we know that they are benefiting off of what's going on. We know that they're not going through half of what black people are going through. We know this. We know this to be very true. We know that the chance of the police harassing us and doing stuff to us, killing us, we know it's greater, with us, but they're not going to go down there to a Jewish community and, blah, blah. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. We already know what it is. So let's not act like it's not going on. Kyrie, I stand with you. And Kanye, I stand with you. If you guys have information on this, post it. Show what's really going on in this world. And you Jewish people, who are not in control of this, what y'all need to do is repent. Y'all need to be like, you know what, this is what's really going on. And we need to stop this because, listen, there's blood in the water. There's blood in the water. And listen, I don't know what y'all are thinking about, but Christ is real. Like, he didn't die and now he's in hell like the Talmud wants you to believe. No, he is he is a king. He is sitting on the throne. And when he comes back, there is going to be hell to pay. And listen, you're doing whatever you want to us. And, hey, we deserve some of it because, we disobeyed God's laws way back then. Boom, this is our punishment. But that time is over with too. Those 400 years are over with. And I'm telling you, when Christ comes back, he is going to rain down fire upon anyone, not just Jewish, but anyone who is committing these atrocities. With these children and stuff like that, he's coming after you. So all the stuff you see on Netflix and all these, same-sex marriages and all these narratives of a boy can be a girl. Christ is going to, listen, it's going to be bad. So for you people who are pushing this stuff and all this, feminism where a woman can be a man and take on all these man roles, listen, you guys are in trouble. Anything that's outside of God's law, y'all better be afraid to promote. Y'all better cut it out. So I'm just telling you Jewish people who are not with this program, get away from, and this for any race, for black people out there killing and committing all this havoc, for you other black people, get away from them. Get away from them. Get as far from them. I don't care if there's your cousins, brothers. Get away from them. For Jewish people, you know what your people are doing. You know the stuff that they're doing. Get away from them. Get away from them. Because they're going to pay for what they're doing. Nobody's getting away with anything. You're just getting by.